still feel amazing. My kids still feel great, and my wife still feel like she can do anything. And that's the world that we want to live in. But do we have the confidence that we can even live there? And if you don't have the confidence that you can live in that place, you don't put the things in place in order to achieve it, because it does feel funny. It does feel weird. It does feel different. It's just like walking, like you said. I don't know how I'm gonna walk, but I know I'm gonna do it. And then some kids decide that they're not gonna do that one day because, whatever reason. But go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. Self-worth is the root. Speaking up is the fruit. And so, yeah, that's one thing this all stems from. Self-confidence starts with self-worth. Like, how do you see yourself? And it all comes with, in a sense, it all comes with your speaking to yourself. If you're saying bad things about yourself, if you're complaining about yourself, seeing yourself as less than, of course, you're not going to have confidence because you don't value yourself that much. But when you start to value yourself and realize, like, I was never meant to be a judge. I'm not. How am I going to judge? God made me perfect. I'm perfect. If you can undo God's perfection, that means you're more powerful than God. And I don't think anyone here believes they're more powerful than God. So you have to accept your perfection. And if you're not valuing yourself at least on the same level, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you are uniquely suited to present to the world how you see the world. Like, because we are all from a different vantage point. Like, it's like if we're lined up, I can be like, hey, look out for this coming up over there. You'd be like, look out for this coming up over there, where we can't see it. It's in our blind spot, but you're perfectly suited. And when you're not in that fully, even if you're not in that a little bit, like, the whole world is missing out. And so I say that just to say how important you are, so you can hear it from an outside source. But it's more important that you tune into the inside source so that you can know it for yourself.
The cool part about this, again, also, is that, and this is when it comes to confidence with other people, or confidence that you give to other people. The number one thing is, and also to the point that you're making about self-worth, is the root. One of the biggest things that was a pet peeve of mine is anybody around me saying anything negative about themselves. I absolutely hate it. And a part of it is because of me finding out that self-worth is the root, speaking up is the fruit, is that I never want anybody to believe anything about themselves that I haven't seen, number one. So that's a whole nother, that's a battle within itself. But I hate it. And the reason why I bring this up is because one piece is, I said, we want to be able to accept or acknowledge other people's confidence. But I also want to say that we do not have to accept people's rotten fruit, the rotten fruit that they give themselves. But also, with not accepting their rotten fruit doesn't mean that we have to debate them about it. And I'm saying that because of how I am. I'm quick to tell somebody this. The reason, and this is the conclusion that I came up with myself. The reason why I was not allowing them to accept their fruit is because something in me also believed the thing that they were saying, because I wanted to fight something that was not real. And so the idea here for myself, and I would share to everybody else, is, number one, accept and acknowledge people's confidence, so that way you can in turn recognize your own confidence or build your own confidence up. Allow them to be happy, over exuberant, and all these other wonderful things, and tell them you see it. Then on the flip side, when someone comes with the rotten fruit, it's okay to acknowledge that, hey, you are great, but you don't have to dive deep. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to believe that those things are real, because then you end up doing the same thing, fighting yourself on and saying, well, maybe this is that. No, you can hear it and then you move on. But that's just my thoughts on that. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. And with the speaking up is the fruit part too. Like, to me, that also means speaking your truth no matter what. And like, I remember I had reached a point, maybe in my 20s, not to say that I lived fake before that or whatever, but it was just like,
you was fake.
I'm gonna be me as quickly as possible around whoever, because that way, if they don't like the me that's showing up, they can just leave, and I haven't invested any time in it or nothing. Cool, you know who I am. This is me. Accept it or not. But a lot of times we might, what's the word? Is it pander to just things like you might get a job, you might hold your tongue because I need this job or else blah blah blah. But it's like, nah, be you. You could be you respectfully. Like being you is respectful. It's not just going off on people for no reason. You can hold your ground and not give much more. I like that you said that you won't argue with somebody, especially about their limitation, because that allows them to strengthen their belief in their limitation by going back and forth. But also, like, truth needs no validation. Love needs no validation. It just is. So when you say something, stand on it. You don't got to repeat yourself. You don't got to say it over and over again. Just say it and just let that be. Even if they come back with something else, you don't even have to respond anymore. You said your piece, and be confident in you and what you want, because you're meant to. And sometimes people are just giving you, let's just say the universe, the world is just giving you the opportunity to see it for yourself. So that's why you're being met with it. And so it's like the sooner that you choose it, the more sooner you would appreciate it, the more sooner it'll be all around you, and you would be in a space of confidence and appreciation.
Look, the thing that comes to my mind when you said it though, bro, is like I'm drinking water right now, right? If somebody came to me and like, man, that's not water, I'm just gonna say okay, because you don't know, and I do know. You know what I'm saying? So to that point, the truth, I don't argue the truth. I would never argue the truth. And so even to the example that I was given about someone giving themselves rotten fruit, speaking up is a rotten fruit in this instance. It's okay for me to be like, no, it's water. And if they argue me, I don't have to. It's okay, because I'm not going to, like you said, reinforce what you're thinking about yourself. But I'm also not going to allow that to be what they call that, a rabbit hole, Pandora's box for myself. And then the other point that I want to make, and this is about the confidence as well. And I'm saying it's only because you said pandering, and I don't know if you use it the right way. It don't matter really at the end of the day. But I said it because it brings up the many times where I've said words that I don't know if I'm using them in the right context. But see, here's the thing.